Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Friday, December 8th, 2023 by Gaia Blooming. Hello, I am Mimi, and our energy mantra for today is I am grateful for where I can surrender to the adventure. And today I'm just feeling really exhausted. And so I was like, well, let me give you a view that you don't actually get to see. The top of my little tree, which has a little butterfly on it, and some of my art and some art that was given to me, and the top of that plant that Wolf likes to eat, and some lights, some beautiful lights. So that being said, let us dig into Friday. Friday is overall kind of quieter. You may actually be feeling what I'm feeling. I think sometimes that I get pushed into the Astro early so I can feel it and like explain it to you. So we're going to have a void of course energy for a large part of the day when it comes to the moon. So there's two ways that they will describe void moons in astrology. And one is that it's just the final degrees of the sign that it's leaving and the first degrees of the sign that it's entering. So it's just like a few hours thing. But another one that I kind of subscribe to because I feel it. I really feel into this, feel into this energy. Although I'm not saying that I don't feel that one because I do feel that one too. But is when the moon is basically done making connections and isn't really connecting to anything. So for the largest part of the day, we actually have the moon not connecting to anything until 5 p.m. Pacific time, where it's going to reach a square with Pluto. But besides that, that's the first major aspect of the day. Now, it's not to say that there aren't some other things, because there's some other things that we're going to dig into. But in this void moon, you really may be feeling, I don't know, that absence. You might be feeling a little floaty. And like I mentioned the other day, we are headed into dark of the moon energy. And so if you're feeling tired, please give yourself rest. And if you can't completely give yourself rest, maybe show up in a way where you show off the lights instead of needing to fully be the light yourself, which is funny because my lighthouse card, the sharing card, is at the top of the cards. But there are many ways to share the light without necessarily always having to be the complete and utter source of it, right? I love it. I think it goes so well with this card. Seek inspiration in unusual places. So see where you can let the light be reflective of your light. See, this is all just reflections of me shining on you. So that moon square Pluto, it may pack a little wallop when it comes to relationships, maybe some control issues. The nice thing is it's a fast moving energy because the moon doesn't last long. But that Pluto energy, and we're heading into that final degree of Pluto. We're still at 28, but we're headed into it. We're in the dregs of the 28 degree energy. And so, just watch for that little wallop that you may feel building. The moon is also kind of engaging in a bit of a wide yod. These are in conjuncts with Neptune and Uranus. Again, this may contribute to feeling a little lazy cat. It may contribute to feeling a little exhausted. I feel like there's a lot of surrender in our Sagittarius process right now. I'm telling you this as a Sagittarius. I am feeling that call to surrender so much right now. And I think it's part of this dark moon energy. As we're moving into it, we're going to have the moon shift into Scorpio at 7:35 p.m. And I just think this dark of the moon energy it's deep and dark. I mentioned it yesterday, but I'm feeling it still. It's very deep and dark. And so how can you surrender to this and recognize that the dark moon, all of these processes, it's this. So the traveling card is my like baggage card. This is a card where it's like releasing the things, the energies, the feelings, the emotions, so many things that you don't want to continue traveling on with. So sometimes that requires surrender. Sometimes that requires rest. I also have it with the past lives card, which is the moon card. And so again, there's some deep energies that are in the process of shifting. You know, Saturn is just getting its mojo and moving forward. And speaking of Saturn, and speaking of these deep karmic cords that I think are being cleared at this time, Saturn is engaged in an opposition with Lilith, Black Moon Lilith, today. And so we may have some of that come up. And I think one of the hallmarks of the patriarchal energy is our fear of rest, the fear of like not doing, the fear of getting in trouble if you take a nap or if you need that rest. And so Lilith in Virgo, while Virgo is very much being of service, Lilith is also like, how do you need to be of service to yourself? Does this include rest? Is there a time where you need to allow yourself to unwind, to align with yourself, body, mind, spirit, soul, and heart? That is work to be able to do that. So just be aware of that going on. As the moon moves into Scorpio, and may bring up again some of the flavors of Scorpio, some of the deeper, darker patterns, some fear, just challenging energies that come up in the dark of the moon to be felt and released. Its first connection is with Saturn and connecting into that Lilith energy as well. And so just watch for that. Just watch for where that surrender is needed. We have the going with the flow card, and we do have some strong water energies helping us move through this Sagittarius realm. The final card I have for you is the tuning in. So here we go. Again, like I said, dark of the moon, building to a new moon. Next week on Tuesday, I believe, is the new moon energy. But you may be called to tune in and remember that the bridge between Sagittarius and Scorpio is a bridge of alchemy where you can feel those the lulls and the lows, be present and available to your process in those, and also recognize that Sagittarius is where we can then find other possibility, other perspective, to potentially shift these energies. And so I'm holding space for you if you're feeling a little bit like me. I was like, let me go lay down and meditate before I record this, and fell asleep promptly for an hour. But this is all brought to you by the rest that I needed and allowed myself to align and listen and then show up with some beautiful reflective lights. So please reach out if you would like to book a reading. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com. You can book a reading. You can buy a holiday gift certificate for somebody you would like to purchase a reading for. And remember to leave a comment if you would like to be put in the drawing. I think I'm going to do it right around Christmas. It's just what I'm feeling. I feel drawn to share for Christmas. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. You have the power. I'm like forgetting it all. The better it gets, the better it gets. You have the power. Remember who you are. And I'm forgetting my favorite one. I cannot believe that I cannot remember at this moment my absolute favorite one. Talk about freaking Mercury retrograde brain farts. Here it is. Okay. There is more than enough love in the world for all of us. Namaste.